Now we will see some output control options within CFX. As the solution is progressing, we need to monitor some variables, as well as we need to decide what sort of files we are going to save along with the simulation progress. So that particular settings are or that particular options are available within the output control panels in CFX. We'll see one by one different sort of options that are available to save files, to save variables, as well as monitor our solution progress. So additional controls are available to monitor runs, as well as intermittently backup a run in progress. This sort of residual plots can be seen, and this is available only when we monitor some variables or some residuals. This is an example of monitor a plot for momentum and mass equation residuals. And as well as in between the runs, we can save backup files so that we can resume the runs if there is any problem, or the run crashes, or if the run stops intermittently. So this is an example of a backup file saved at 50th iteration. One more backup file is saved at 100th iteration, and at 150th iteration. So how to set all these controls or all these options? For that, we have to go within the simulation outline tree into output control and press edit by the right mouse click button. Then the output control panel pops up, and here we give various settings or options related to results, backup, and monitor. So the first tab is for results. In the results tab, we give options when do we have to automatically save results file after how many iterations. The next tab is of backup files. In that, we save backup files intermittently which contain information that is of interest. We can give the settings, which sort of variables or options are needed. In the first backup result drop down box, we have to select variables that can be backupped in order to minimize backup file size. So there are various options like standard, selected variables, smallest, essential, which decide which sort of variables will be saved. The lesser number of variables, the lesser the size of the backup file. And the lower is the frequency. That is the output frequency at which iterations the backup files will be saved. So if you give 20, then after each 20 iterations or every 20 iterations, backup files will be saved. So backup files can be used to restart simulation from point where the error occurred, and this saves us time. If we do not save backup files, if there is error in between, all the earlier carried out iterations will be lost. So in order to save time and in order to backup our solution, we save the backup files. Next tab is of monitors, where we can monitor different values like monitor flux balances, mass balance, forces, residuals, as well as some additional variables or expressions that we can create using the expression monitor expression. So example here is something like an area average of the CP value that can be saved, as well as the mass flow rate at outlet 2, which is of interest. This sort of expression can be written within the monitor points and expressions, and we can monitor these as the solution progresses. It is possible for users to access integration functions within the solver to allow for calculation of some non-local integrated quantities at the name locations. So we can use different quantities from the solver side as well as the post side, and write out own expressions which can be monitored or whose values can be seen during the calculations are in progress. There are also monitor points. The value of any variable can be monitored at any location specified in terms of Cartesian coordinates. This can be done by specifying monitor points, which asks us for Cartesian coordinates of the point at which we want to monitor this variable, that is velocity. So to summarize the output options that are available in CFX, what we can conclude is that CFX allows for flexible output control so that the users can track the progress of solution according to his own criteria. So we can write a results file automatically. We can also write backup files automatically, as well as we can monitor the residuals, mass balance, heat flux balance, as well as variables of our own interest, and also create expressions from the available variables in order to monitor the progress or value of those expressions during the simulation. So by this we end the lecture on solver math and settings within the CFX lecture series, and this particular lecture gave you information about all the solver settings as well as the output and initialization settings within CFX Pre. In the next section we will see some post-processing and result extraction options within CFX. So thank you for attending this particular lecture. See you in the next lecture.